Hello everyone. Today we learn about this forget-me. This tutorial woven flowers. Then we first look at the need to prepare material. First we have to have wool preparation. And then there's scissors and crochet. The flower is relatively simple. We use the material is relatively small. Then we first look at the flowers weaving method. Then we can use this to spend a lot of color to hook. The different colors are the same hook method. Then the middle of this are yellow. Far parts are yellow. Then we petals can be replaced with a variety of colors such. Then we look at this law petals hook. Let's come up with a yellow line. We come up with the yellow line. Then 2 laps around the finger. The method of the needle's endless. So take out. We picked up crochet. And through the circle this. Then wound in crochet. Then hook up. We wound with the needle braids. Then this is not the first needle. This is a stand pin. Then we hook up again through the coil. Winding hook up. Then this is the first needle. We hook 9 in such a short needle inside the ring. Good cause us good after 9 short needle. We gently put thread Larson. He will avoid. Anti-fall. Then we find 2 lines We can pull the first thread. Then find. Flanagan tightening line allows us to see clearly. It has a line tightened. Then we pull this thread. In this direction we pull him to pull to the side of the head. Then we'll find another 1 wire will begin to tighten. We firmly pulled it tight. Then I pull the thread. Well then just like this. She directed him to pull into a circle. Then this time we do. We need to change other colors. We use well below the pink line. Let's come up with pink. Then we put a few crochet needle through the end. Then we have just the hook to wear good. This first needle inside braids. We pass through here. If we cannot find the words of the first needle, we can count the number of stitches if the number of words to the 9 pin. This is a first needle. Then we are looking for this position. Let's go through crochet. We then use this line of pink. Hold it by hand. Then this time we do. Pink wire wound on a crochet. Then hook up. Direct coils out of this. It is good. Then. This time we put the yellow line and the thread to get together fixed. We should bury this thread to go inside, as a long term. Let us make 3 braids winding needle. 1, 2, 3. Then we stand a good finish after 3 braids. We wound on the hook tip. Then wear on. The first one is just us. This change pink wire inside the first pin. When we pass through there, we then use this line in yellow crochet top. Fixed on here. Then again so we wound. Then hook it up. Then the thread was hidden beneath. Let us. Winding 2 coils hook. Then you hook up the winding. Well we wound in the head or in the same. A pin which projects a long needle hook. Winding then hook up. We first took 2 coils. and then finally finished with a one time. Well, then we will stand 3 braids. 1, 2, 3. We stand braids when not too loose hook. Otherwise he would. This edge will be a kind. Too loose feeling does not look good. We should try to become a little tight. Then we find the next pin head. We find next to go through a needle eye. The next topic. This is still hiding these 2 thread. Here crochet top. Then you. Winding. Oh, bring us out of this coil between. This is a good method petals hook. The petal is made up of 3 braids. Then the next step 4. The first 2 hook needles are long needles and a first needle which mesh. Then again the next 3 braids pin head in it. Well, this time we will be able to cut the yellow line. We can put this whole thread cut. We repeat this hook method. We bend this. The petals all finished hook. Then we wound braids third. Well, we wound the next pin head inside. Hook long needle. We only the first petals. And this is with a needle eye hook. Our future is the next petal. In the next pin hook long needle head inside it, rather than not in the same, which to us in the next chapter. We like this. After you finish hook 3 braids. 1, 2, 3. After completion of legislation, we next head pin. Next pin head above. We own this winding out. We may hook when the 2 groups. Remember, this rule has not been fully. Then let's hook. It is the 3rd braids. The other 3 we wound braids. Correct. The next item inside through. Then fault. There are 3 top coils. Let's bring out 2. 2 winding. Then hook along march. This place is long increase station. Let my brother over to 3rd. Ah. We. In this way. A little faster, a little bit. We then regardless of the petals. The 4th completed. Our future good of our total of 5 petals. We can clearly see that. 123. Government. When we take a hook to this, it is the last petal. Then we set up 3 braids. We refrain in the future from a good 12. Then began to gradually familiar. They will have to cut more and more attractive. Well, we have a knitting needle with stubs and increasing. How is the same level triggered? We then gently pull the system a little Larson. Do not stay too long. This is what we will be halved. Then we can pull this, take up the slack. Negative. Not yet. This interface allows our young crochet through this. The back of the matrix. Then this hook out this thread. Hide behind this thread here. Then we lose this. Good. We just hook. We can put the middle of this circle as a thread. The driver tension. Let him. Other languages that will look good. Good, like this flower we completed. Then we look at the leaves. We look at this leaf. The page that this flower leaves relatively little afraid. I mean relatively small chrysanthemum. Leaves also use less. Let us. Well, this time we pick up the green line. The whole green line we also need to prepare. This terrain with a green stripe. We then use this green line. Let's. Please look braid's needle. But now the fingers around a knot. Let me pick up the crochet. We hook smaller leaves. Then we will be able to dozens of braids. Winding up the hook, so this is a braid. 2, 3. Yes. I have 7. Call. Okay. After 27, we begin this half of the needle through the mesh. This is the first needle. Then we put this article stereotypes placed on top of crochet. Let us ready-made crochet around the wound above the hook out. This time we put this little wire like this with 2 fingers grip. Then this hook out. Give us this winding brought out. We first needle short needle is complete. They do not grow in the second frame length needle. We are now above the winding crochet, and from there to the next frame. I really do not on. Winding chat. Hook up. There are 3 top coils. Take it out of our own. This is a long needle hook in France. Either you down here long needle wound. Returns the next entry needle. Well, let's bring out the 2 coils. Then winding. In the next pinhead, or repeated long needle hook, you bring out the first 2. The next is still the same. Well, we hook to the back when there are 12:33. Hour. Put it into long hook needle all out. Our next on the line is a long needle. Bypass. Well, then we last left a needle. Pass through. Then do not itch. We then fold the first wire. Give us this project a hook needle 3 short needle. It is not then a short ride the line. We directly through subtitles. Then hook up. We are talking about only 2 coils. It is. We are good with a needle mesh generation gap. 2-wheel hook A. This time we started back toward the ditch. He was facing the back. We wound. We are a long needle hook fold back. Then we reach this. This is really behind. Stocks inside. You wear this gen dream. Then center. Brother out. A normal really want the next stitch is also a corresponding pinhead. You hook up. Below you will fax. First out of the first 2. The following is repeated long needle hook. Okay. Contract. I just got here is long needle in 2 winding row. At the reception. Until the final stitch. Today we will finish it hook braids. Let's wear to this. I really do not on earthquakes. Then we wound. We do not take the keys. Are out of this. Hard disk is where the end of the line at the end of all this. They do the. It was so good. Gold leaf is relatively small. Because of this flower is relatively small. We then leaves relatively small. This will. You can bring out the words. The rest of us can do is this thread. Guess. Thus it is fixed here. Let's take a look at this assembly method. We need to prepare a good bit less than half of this. This short yellow details. Then we come up with this flower. We can see the flowers positive and negative. We come up with his back. The opposite is the experience of cable head. Then we picked up right. We can clearly see the flowers. The flowers on the edge that there is a. We can clearly see that we have a can of. Gently thought through this bar. Then where to the bar across the. So go through. The wire pair is then folded over so. Against time over. We use this clip risk. Correct. We put this little clip so. Clip it together. It is good. So it is good after a good clip. We call this the green wool. We went with a green model. Hide it good like this. Then we must use this time to talk about an isolated residual yellow line. Let us now put a circle around this cover yellow line. I decided to use my own method. Then you can break it. Broadbean. The evidence we have about the same distance end. Then we reuse this post. You pay a little tie. Oh. It is good. They are now completed one of the. Next we. Again. Show you the. To wear this. It folded over so that the. You do not give a good father. This wire. Fold added. So he. Welcome to the dispensing can be fixed. Like this, we can also use this flower color. You can also use a good number of colors. Then let's get hold of several flower because 23. Then we find an A. It makes up A. I'm ready to have a 4 grams. Then we started to use it. Large family of. Then we need to pick up the flower show. The length of the flower stem. Okay. Then we just started yet. Need 2. We can adjust the height. Then this with 2. Then we. And together look. So we'll. In a group of lap wrapped around it. All in all. He said here that we can start again, then add. Just like that bale. Then add it to the scene. I cannot do. The first party is 4. It is mostly consistent. At this time we do good. We can put the leaves The leaves can be added by the. We want to leave behind this is some distance. It is removed from the baskets. You speak of our need to state flower pot. We want to get rid of this distance to be loaded words. So we cannot put flowers on your position on the following. We circle around the wire fences all their past completion. Then complete the assembly this time. Look at this post is special need for patience. Then we talking about when. We try to. Do not let him slowly. The colors of the exposed wire. Good comes to this position has almost over. I'm right here is put on top of a home. It is good that we adjust this. Flowers to open it a little bit. Like this one so complete. Then we can get a lot of put it all together. We can also use this kind of flower wrapping paper. Wrap it up. You can also use it to wipe the bottle vase. So then. Okay.